Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to GT Session.
Welcome. Welcome to GT Sessions, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
You know what it is. It's your boys, Joey Twins. I go by Sig, he go by Style. This is the GT Sessions with music, Mr. Motivation, right?
With the music meets the motivation, most definitely, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Indeed, we meet the motivation to this very specific music that we done made. Obviously, you already know what we done do. We're making them beats. We're bringing to the GT Sessions. We're rapping for those beats. We're playing with verse like BBC, NBC. You know what I'm saying? This is up,
crazy, man.
This is up, man. Ladies and gentlemen,
crazy.
this is your very own GT Sessions, where you're getting GT Sessions, GT Entertainment, GT Music, most definitely. GT Sessions, where the music meets the motivation. GT Entertainment, where the party never stops, it continues, most definitely. I like your flows over there. I like how you do them dances and shit. I like it, man. I'm very like it, man. Last week right here we had Plug Talk session. You still remember about Plug Talk, man? For all of those who haven't seen Plug Talk or heard about Plug Talk, well, let me tell you one thing about Glory Twins, alright? We're making an album, alright? We're making music. Now we done made an album. The album that made it to GT Sessions, alright? What's it called? If you know, you know. So now we're having 12 sessions, meaning Plug Talk that we're definitely talking about. That made it last week on the last session that we had. Plug Talk. We should need to revert back to that because I still have a lot of questions about that.
Why we don't revert back to the Plug Talk session?
Man,
anyways, man, you know you don't understand, man. You gotta go back to this shit, man.
Most definitely. So just a quick recap about Plug Talk. This nigga had a lot of flows. You haven't heard it, go stream it. You haven't watched it, it's right here on GT Session 1.2 Plug Talk, right? So talking about Plug Talk, I mean, I still have about that, you know. What's the story behind your mastering production? It was great. I loved it. Alright,
you know what I mean.
Do you have any secret that we don't know about?
Nah, man, you don't know what I mean, man. But man, with that, man, I just keep it on the low, man. I just do what I gotta do. You see, sometimes, man, you just gotta give people something different. They shouldn't expect same thing all the time. So I gotta give them something different. So it was chill with that one, man.
I like that. So do you really think maybe Plug Talk reflects with your personal journey or music journey, something like that? Of course,
what are you talking about? What is this nigga talking about? Ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't affect you any of my best man. Definitely, you don't want to know about me, man. Nah.
We'll take that as a no. We'll take that as a no. Most definitely. That was a Plug Talk, ladies and gentlemen.
Alright.
This nigga had a lot of flows, and I was blown away.
Yeah, you were blown away. I was also blown away by his flows, man. Okay, I also got a question for you, man. So, how did you get the idea of making Plug Talk? Like, where did you get the idea, man? Like,
I see where we're headed now. I see where we're headed now. You want the idea. You gave me the idea. I tell you what.
Spill the beans, man.
Alright, okay. You know, when you heard Plug Talk, we say ding, 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 you know, came around with the tones and shit, you know, ding, ding, ding. And that right there, is when I heard that we needed a little bit of bass, little bit of the hat, little bit of the key.
I heard that when I mixed it, man. When I was listening to it, I was like, wow, this nigga that made a hella crazy beat. I was hella impressed by your creativity, man.
When I make a beat, I make sure that the idea is great. I just have it in my mind. Whatever you had in your mind, you can do it.
Yes, sir.
That dream that you have in your mind, you can reach it. Those goals that you have to accomplish, you can reach it only if you believe that. And I believe that I can make that.
Yes, sir.
And I made Plug Talk very amazing.
So talking about Plug Talk, right? If you had to make Plug Talk again, what would you make different about Plug Talk this time?
I'm gonna add a lot of hats. I'll make sure that the heads are going like these, my guy, like these, my guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, right? So far, so yet, not to underestimate my skills and so far as yet. I really love Plug Talk, and next time they gave me the motivation that next time, boy, if they have to be Plug Talk Part 2,
like he's saying, ladies and gentlemen, it will be epic.
Most definitely, people going down there crazy, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. But you already know, man, this is Plug Talk. We're talking about Plug Talk, GT sessions right here. If you know season 1. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It was released last week, GT session 1.2, very amazing. And shout out to everybody who's been supporting us in the GT.
This whole GT session, bro. Everybody, thanks for the love and support. We appreciate it big time.
So without no further ado, I mean, we are right here on GT session, and y'all reason wondering
why we actually talking about practice.
Right, we here to have fun. We here to play with words. We here to science.
You know what I mean? Can you see?
We making beats. So we gonna rap for those beats, you know? And then you get a GT Entertainment where we definitely
flex on those beats. That's where the party never stops right there.
We never stops. We flexing on those beats. Crazy, so why not rap for it? You know, we gonna try to rap for it, and this is why we're all here. Conspiracy stories. So remember last week I told them that I'm gonna collect the buzz.
Did you go and collect some buzz?
Maybe not. One of the same. Let me tell you, alright? I say that I don't want to connect the buzz, but then I was working on a new beat.
That was how I was supposed to happen.
Okay, alright. So we're working on an album, and the album that's going to be released this year on the 1st of July. It is what it is, and I was busy with the beat, and obviously I lost track about conspiracy theories. Same conspiracy theories that we acknowledged last time, that was still, right?
Right. I was just in a listening session just like a few days ago.
Okay, you heard
that. I was just listening to conspiracy theories and it's like, God dang, man, I cannot downweight, man. I cannot downweight.
That sounds crazy. But anyways, GT session is all about playing with words, and we're gonna rap right here about playing with words, alright?
Exactly.
So I haven't prepared the bars, right? But maybe I might prepare some, I might have I got them thoughts.
He's prepared, He's prepared. I'll have for me, man. I know
I'm going to investigate your ass after that session. Okay. Alright, man. So, great talk. We're having Plug Talk session. We're having conspiracy stories. Same conspiracy stories that you've been waiting for. Sir, let's get into it. Yes, sir. Conspiracy theories. Conspiracy stories. Ladies and gentlemen, conspiracy stories.
Man, we're gonna be out here, man. We're gonna be killing it. Every day I wake up and I rise and shine because man, there's a lot in my face that I gotta contemplate, that I gotta meditate. So before I meditate, I'ma make sure that I concentrate and meditate in everything that I gotta say. Because man, this is me, I'm trying to take the best of me. I'm out there with my feet, trying to be the best of us. Because man, we've been through the dreams, through the dreams. I'm a G-O-A-T, and the tweet, there is nothing I can be. I can be like anything. What is that you need? Telling me I am me, man, having all of that. This is me, trying to chase the best of me. I am down with the worst of me. That shit didn't run away from me. I know this is whole lot of righteous things are all about me. Sorry, man, this is me, trying to be the best of me.
You gotta calm down, sir.
I know, man.
Hey, let me tell you one story. One story with shorty could be the story. She done told of my stories. Them stories are changing to conspiracy stories. Them people don't know me. Ain't nothing to look at me, so they know me. So they know me. And say, him or that nigga, you must be know me. I don't know who they be. Touching my nigga and I keep it they be. I make it a beat. I make it a bitch to make sure they keep it to see. Somebody to see. She wanted my tape, I gave her my tape. She make sure they can make up with the new tape. On me with the tape, right?
A whole lot of the tapes.
I told you I'm making it hit. Yeah. Nothing thinking what you gonna say. Gonna say. I don't care what you gonna say. She says in the boys and the nigga don't tell what I fuck with you to be. I'm free to be. But I cannot be that best of me. If I cannot be far from my tree, I'm not gonna chase that best of me. Funny gonna wait for the ways of me. You know how we do reverse with me. I'm chasing the best of me. Always the way with the best of me. All of these people don't wanna be now. I got no children, I cannot be now. Cause wherever I go, then my baby will be. I'ma go to this every year. Oh, no, I say them, no, I'm not really on. You know, that's how when I people like say, nigga, go by cycle, cycle, the lemon, you come on with lemon, I don't care how you think, you keep on the table, we keep on the table, we make it the big one, I keep on the table, to the table, of course she came to the table, I did it up to the table, now she started this, she wanna talk about tempo, I had to let go, before I had to let go, behind the beat, man, there's a whole lot of bunch of shit, man, behind the beat, it's just memories, there's nothing to memories, you see, man, a part of me doesn't know what's for me, when I fuck with the worst of me, right, the best of me, and the best of me, chasing the best of me, I mean really, who wanna be a bit, well I feel that we the best of me, and all of these people, they ask me that question, I don't even know what I went to with different dimension, I lived in dimension, I had to dimension, all that things that he didn't mention, dimension, some no connection, whatever he didn't want to mention, because man, I'm trying to go build up all my mentions, you know what I'm talking about, taking no mention, did not be mentioned, I couldn't be mentioned, talking away, these people don't mention, things I don't talk about, you know wherever I go, they just taking the photos, they keeping the phone on my body, is that really over? She came out rock, way I say she called out all my name, when she called out all my name, guess what, nobody even cared, she was playing in my head, for a whole couple of days, God man, I'm just gonna live it like I did. Everybody, yeah, everybody, yeah, everybody, yeah, all of these niggas are living by day, all of these niggas are living by day, I'm living by day, I'm living by day.
And now, if you know, you know album, now available on all DSPs.
Welcome back to the GT session. Welcome back.
Man,
that was conspiracy, freaky stories, man. There was conspiracy theories. Very, very conspiracy theories. That was very conspiracy theories. That was great. Amazing. Production, your twins. He mastered that. I'm very amazed by the production. I'm very amazing. You running up the ganja?
It's all about the ganja.
Hey, marijuana. Oh man, I like that, man.
Crazy, man. You know,
crazy,
man. The ganja, brother.
You know, now I was very impressed about your flows. I'm not gonna lie, sir.
I tried.
That wasn't trying. That was you doing your best.
Like I said, I was trying. I wasn't even really prepared for that, but yeah, I was like,
yeah. Talk about that. I mean, your flows was super chilled in the beat like that. I was, what the hell is wrong with this nigga? This nigga is you gonna make me lose, man. Your flows were very amazing. I mean, how did you keep up with such amazing flows? So chilled. I was very impressed.
Man, you see, I was in my zones, you know. I was after
I like that.
When I started the ganja session, so my brother, let me tell you, you see, I went in there and saying, man, you see, I'm a GOT, man, and the twin. Meaning, I'm a goat and a twin, man.
Damn.
There's nothing I can do, you know. I can do like anything.
Okay.
So what is that you telling me that I'm me? Man,
I like that.
So
yeah, you can definitely be
man.
anything. You can definitely be anything.
If you put your mind to it, ladies and gentlemen, you can be anything. Literally.
You can be anything. You heard him say it by 6 months. That was great. Great flows. It was very short. And just another one before we, continue with this GT section. Did you perhaps maybe discover something new about this shit flow? Because I was really blown away. Listen up. I was really blown away, okay? I was very blown away, and there must be something that you have learned from that. Should we tell us right now? Should we, me and the audience, be aware of your next coming new move on this flow? Something that was great. Something that we should be aware of?
All I'm gonna say that, man, brother. Every session you get different type of me. So, guys, don't expect me to be like this on Let Go. Or I'm like, look at me. Was I like this on Below?
Definitely.
Was I like this on Plateau? Exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, me every session is just all different personalities. Like, they just update in my head, guys. You know what I mean?
You heard it. Personalities. I like that. But maybe that personalities were built with what you heard from that, and that was conspiracy theories. You go check it out. Conspiracy theories is right there on the album that was released on the 11th of November 2024 by Joey Twins right there.
Yeah.
You can find it. All DSPs, ladies and gentlemen, right there available. You can listen to the whole album. 12 sessions to go, and this is session number 3. Conspiracy stories, which is track number 3. I like that. I very like that.
So since you were asking me about my flows and everything, I just want to know what inspired your flows. I'm like, I'm talking about a whole bunch of things, my brother. So I don't know what I'm gonna say.
I talk about a lot about things. You know what I'm saying?
I don't hear you, bro.
I know that. Question is, what inspired my flows?
What inspired your flows, ladies and gentlemen?
What inspired my flows is what I say on the flows. Like, for example, Naomi. Well, Naomi, she knows me. You know, that's when Naomi. You gotta calm down, sir.
I heard you done talking about that. We should done
talking my stories, and then they change into their stories. That's why a lot of people don't know me. That's why a lot of people don't know me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
They were hella
absolutely great. So
sick.
That what inspired that.
Alright.
The question.
So let me ask you this one. So which verse do you think was the hardest to ever maybe to create when coming up with on this flow, man?
Well, like I say, ladies and gentlemen, I said this before, the time that we began on the sheet sessions, right here on conspiracy theories, that I did not prepare for that. I only thought about conspiracy theories on the D-Day, which is today.
Because
I only wrote those theories today. I was
busy
busy making the beats for the next album. I was busy working on the next album, which y'all gonna hear it. But the question is that you don't ask me, it's pretty simple. What you don't ask?
What I ask you, my brother, is what was the hardest part? What was the hardest part of making the verse out there?
Well, there was no hardest part. I was just, I played with the words like BBC, ABC, I'm crossing the sea, I'm YBC,
you know what I mean.
You know what I mean.
You know I can see it, right? But did you see?
I can't see. That's great. That's how. So that's the part of the flows. I mean, I told you that when I walk in the studio, niggas are going so local. They're going so local, they're taking the photos, you know what I'm saying? They're taking the photos. Exactly. They cannot believe they're screaming, oh my God, is that really homo? I said, no, I'm not really homo, man. I'm crazy. That's what my second level, you know what I'm saying? Crazy. I like that. I really like that. But this is Cheat Session. That was a great conspiracy theory session.
That's a great session.
I liked it. I enjoyed it the most. I really enjoyed it the most. But hey, here's what happened last week, right here on Plug Talk on GT Session. We had a Plug Talk, right?
Yeah.
And this guy introduced GT Chris.
Yeah,
most definitely. Shout out to GT Chris. It was actually introduced last session right here on the Plug Talk, and we're going to continue with the GT Chris continually, and we're never gonna stop with that.
We're never gonna stop. So, ladies and gentlemen, GT Chris is coming up.
It's actually
right
coming
now.
up next. Most definitely.
Let's get to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the GT Sessions. Most definitely, broski. GT Sessions. We're having a GT Chris. We're gonna know more about him. He's gonna know more about us, most definitely. So with the GT Chris, it's a little bit, because we're asking about the GT Chris that happening, because we are in the journey of this. If you know. So talking about that, with the GT question, I do obviously have like a lot of kind of questions, but it's not a lot, just a few, kind of things like that. Before we begin, do you really think that you can out-rap me, nigga? Out-rap me, I mean, come on.
Listen to this nigga. Man, I can wrap up your whole rap career, alright?
Damn.
Let's see. I'm gonna hurt your feelings. I ain't never gonna hurt your feelings. But man, I can literally out-rap you, man. Even now in the session, like, give me a word, I can out-rap you like nah. But we're not gonna do that, ladies and gentlemen.
I love that confidence.
I can out-rap this guy all day, every day.
Well, like I say, guys, I don't do no rap. I just play with words like ABC. So the challenge is on him. So
no, ladies and gentlemen, don't come for me because definitely you don't want no
crazy. So now, since we are still in the season, because this is season 1 about the the only album, the very first album that made it to the Cheat Session, and right now we're on track number 3 about conspiracy theories. So I do have a question about that right here on GT Chris.
Okay.
Since we are in this album, there are 12 freaking beats that we made, and you mastered them all. Please tell me there gotta be something. pleaser. There gotta be something, and just a moment that really improvised. That you really think that you improvised. Was there any moment that you really improvised? That you thought
any moment.
Yeah. I mean, there are 12 tracks.
There's 12 tracks.
Yeah.
Listen to the whole album. From number 1 until number 12. They're all don't sound the same. I improvised on every single track. So on every single track that I'm made, man. You see, I make sure that I improvise. I don't want to give people the same thing all the time. When you master it, you shouldn't master it to the same thing, you know, it gets boring. I don't want people to get bored, you know. I don't want people to get bored. So that's why it keeps me running, man.
So, but was there any moment out of all those tracks? I mean, all of those tracks. Out of track number 12, which track do you think that you improvised the most? Let's hear that.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Man.
If you know,
you know. That was my actually it's my only favorite of the album, and Maniac, because you know it drives me maniac. It's a whole lot of things, but if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. I don't tell you, my brother. Like
I heard that. I heard that.
My brother. Oh, listen to like everything's just sounds so. Like I don't make sure that I'm going to kill the thing. That beat, man.
That nigga was sick.
I make sure that I improvise.
I love that. I love
because
that.
man, I was in my zone. Okay. You don't want to know. But alright, man. Talking about that, man. I just wanna ask a few questions before we go on. Alright. So, do you think that any songs in the album that you feel maybe they're overlooked or overhyped or overrated?
Overlooked. Overhyped. Well, I tell you what. I'm thinking right now about Prada. He explained it the last time on the Plug Talk that it doesn't specifically mean that the label called Prada about what you meant is that you're proud of me. You know, you're proud of us. So I think Prada is the most overlooked, you know, and etc. Because the reason why I'm saying that I'm listening to the beats and the
no. Like, did you hear that? When it starts,
the vocal, excuse me. I think we need some oxygen in here. Most definitely. I like that.
I'm crazy.
I like that. So I think it's actually the overhyped one because of I remember when I made up that beat, I just went with the kicks and they went with the heads and
everything.
Because everything.
Man,
I told them all the new master that I love that for me.
So how do you stay motivated when you're making a beat? Something like
motivation.
That? When you're in the studio, how do you stay motivated?
Oh, easy, papi. I hit the blunt, the ganja, man. I hit the blunt, the ganja. Most definitely, I get stoned all day when I'm making that.
All day, every day.
Keeps me going, you know. No cap. It just keeps me going. I just don't want to get bored and.
So that's what keeps you motivated.
Most definitely, because remember now that makes me explore more about what I'm listening. Like when I'm outside, it's just time the zone now. I like that.
So you also say the same way that you stay focused in the studio.
Yeah. Well, to stay focused, what it keeps me focused. I mean, the only thing that keeps me focused, here's a word of advice. You can write this down definitely.
Ladies and gentlemen, take notes, like now.
Where the focus goes, energy flows. Meaning, I myself had to just heat up the blunt. I'm not saying that you gotta heat up the blunt, but I had to heat up the blunt because I was busy focused. I was trying to focus. You know, when I got the focus, the energy was flowing. I was creating this, I was creating that, and now we have the whole If You Know You Know album. Bobby, we done heard him. We done heard him, brother. That's what's up, That's what's up, man. And that was a GT Crazy. Y'all got any questions? He had a post on on the
ladies and gentlemen, you can hit up on our Facebook page, which is Glory Twins. Hit our Facebook page. If you have any question, I'm gonna pin a post about the upcoming session, which is Let Go. So if you have any questions regarding GT Quiz, you wanna ask us anything, there'll be a post on our Facebook page, which is Glory Twins. It will be pinned under Let Go, so it will be a Let Go post. And just drop your comments, just drop your questions, and we'll attend to them on the next session. On GT.
Exactly. That was what I was gonna say. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say it my way, alright? And here's the great part of them all, alright? Okay, when you comment, when you ask the question right there on the Glory Twins post, boy, we gonna mention you right here on the GT section. We gonna make sure that they gonna follow your ass. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
So we gonna follow you. We gonna mention that question right there. We gonna shout out to you. So it's a great opportunity to everybody out there who also wants to be involved right there on the GT sections. The fans, the upcoming artists, the Glory Twins. You know you wanna be involved? just hit the comment.
Just go to our Facebook page,
the GT Crease. Just ask anything about the GT Crease, about the journey that we are making, or already that we done made on this If You Know album. We can ask anything, it will be answered in the next session. I love that, and it's going to continue forever. Forever.
All right. Just before we wrap up the whole show, man, the whole conspiracy theory,
conspiracy theories, man.
It was super amazing. It was super amazing. And as I heard you talking about people, or we're gonna give a shout out to people.
Most definitely.
Like just like
whoever comments, we're gonna give a shout out.
Just like the upcoming session that's coming next, guys, ladies and gentlemen.
We're gonna talk about that.
We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. But now let's get into something that's new on the program. Which is about to wrap up the show. Before we quickly wrap it up, right?
What's that?
People wanna know who's mostly like to do this.
Who's most like to do what and that. Guys, coming up next, coming soon. I'm gonna answer that, you're gonna ask me that. Okay, alright,
ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, most definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the GT sessions. Yes, sir. GT sessions. We've been through the GT Crease. Now we have a new program right here on the show. I'm very excited for that. Very excited. Please tell us about that, sir.
So who's most likely to do this is just another program that you just introduced, and then I left a post on our Facebook page, but I took it down, but wasn't quite sure about it. But a lot of people came through with a lot of questions, man, and they just want to know. Since then, we've done twins, they want to know who's most likely to do this. Are we the same? Like the same
I
shit?
know that kind of
But let me just quickly get to it. Just like Maya over here, Maya asked this, man. Maya, shout out to you, Maya.
What she done ask?
She done ask, who is more patient between me and you?
Who is more patient?
I don't have the patience. Guys, you step on my toes, definitely you're gonna get the heat. I'm bringing
you. I tell you.
I don't have time for BS, alright? You step on my you push one button, I'm gonna explode.
I mean, that's an angry name, man. You're done angry.
Exactly, man. I'm like an angry man. But man,
honestly, with me, the patience, you come with your problems, you wanna tell me the whole story 24/7. I got it, I got the patience. I'll listen to that.
Maya, since you now ask this question, right, Maya, I call this guy my wise man.
I am the wise man indeed.
Once I'm going through a lot, bunch of shit. Once we're going through shit, once we need to hit shit, he's the wise man.
Exactly.
So another question, RJ. They want to find out who's most likely to take this life. Dangerous one.
I plan first. He just goes with it.
Guys,
no plan.
I don't plan.
Just goes with it. And I
can just wake up to tomorrow and like, you know what? Screw this. I'm taking everything down.
And I gotta stop his ass. So like, sir, what do you think you're doing? You gotta plan shit down. You gotta think about what's gonna happen the next 6 months. You gotta sit down with your thoughts. Same topic that you don't want to talk about. You gotta talk about that eventually. You gotta talk about that, and that's what we're gonna talk about. It was plenty of shit. So yes, definitely.
Alright, guys, I want to also know. Just one last one before we figure that out. I just wants to know who's most likely to spend more time in the studio session.
I tell you what. I spend more time, I bring his ass, because the beats that I make, it's a heat. I make sure that I'm making that beat, I make sure that that beat is turning into the heat, and now let's say he it's feeling it, everybody feeling that shit, man, alright? I make that the beat, I make sure it's a heat, and people I make sure that definitely that shit, definitely.
Exactly.
Most definitely. So yeah, who like to spend more time in the studio? It's me, alright? It's me. I spend
most of the time playing my PlayStation. I'm also
moving
socials, doing some shit. Like this guy was driving me like, hey yo, nigga, it's time for the studio session. I'm like, God, I know I can do OT for the studio, but the joke now is that I ain't got no time for the studio. But I cannot be like that, right?
Most definitely. But anyways, that was a new program on the GT sessions. I like it. It was very fun. Coming up next, guys, we'll be looking into the agenda, what will be happening next week. What we'll just a quick breakdown about the GT sessions and when it will be ending and looking into an album that we've been working on. I can't wait for that.
We're gonna talk about that next.
Before we wrap it up, man, we're gonna talk about that next.
No, we're not gonna talk about the album. We're gonna talk about the event that's coming next.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, and that was the only issue. Want to know about the house questions, you will hear. If you have more questions, just hit up the socials to get us there. Pop up the question, we're gonna answer it right here on GT Sessions. GT section.
Welcome back,
sir. This is the only conclusion of the GT sessions. It was a great show, great talk. I loved it. Conspiracy theories. It had a lot of theories. It had a lot of stories being told or untold. The spoken was spoken. I mean, the unspoken was spoken. The unseen was finally seen. You know what I'm saying? It was actually great, man. I really loved it. So looking into the agenda, we had obviously the If You Know album right on the GT sessions. That was tech number 3, Conspiracy Theories. If you haven't heard it, go check it out. It's absolutely great. It blew my mind. I hope it will blow your mind too. You go check it out, guys. Thanks a lot for that bounce. But the next time will be next session we have been let go. Let go. You got the problems. Let go.
Let them go. Everything but
thoughts. Let go. And we're gonna rap about that on the next GT session. That'll be next week coming through.
So we don't even have to explain it to you about let go. It explains itself. Let go, my brother. Let go, my sister. Everything. Let it go. Alright.
I cannot wait for that, right? We're gonna talk about what really inspired you to actually come up with that name to say you gotta let shit go. Because it's something that you might
remember that one heartbreak?
Okay, we're gonna talk about that. But I hope that beat is not about that.
No, it's not gonna be about that. It's not gonna be about that. But yeah, I was going for something when we made that beat, right? And then I was like, I was letting go of that, a whole bunch of things that I was going for.
The energy, the vibes.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about that on the next session on the Let Go. This is GT sessions, ladies and gentlemen. Right there, only on YouTube. You can find it right there. You can subscribe. You can share it out.
Yeah.
Don't
forget to like and subscribe. To tell your friends, to tell the whole world that GT Sessions is available on YouTube. Alright.
GT Sessions, yes sir. So the music meets the motivation, most definitely, man.
So we're about to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. We just want to announce that we've got an EP coming soon that's dropping on the 1st of March called KIDX.
I'm very excited for that one. And mostly what I am excited that I know this is going to make it to the GT session. I'm not talking about the EPs that are not going to make it to the GT session, but what's going to make it into the GT session on season 2 coming next after the next 9 sessions. We're heading ahead of us. It's called EP. It is what it is. I'm very excited for that one, man. Dropping on the 1st of July. We're still working on it. I'm still working on it. I hear so much, so it's actually great. Just a quick question. Talking about that, the album that's coming. Yeah, the album that's coming through. Okay. What should people expect? Wait. I heard that. I like that. We're gonna ask the question on the next session. Ladies and gentlemen,
you don't want to know. Let's wrap it up. We out of here. All right.